good today. A new week, that is all that matters. And one thing about this new week is that some days you just have to create your own sunshine. So you need to create your own sunshine today, irrespective of the area, the location, the environment you found yourself. You're waking up, or you're standing up, or you're tuning in right now. Create your own sunshine, and your own sunshine is your life, is your personality, is your well-being, is your mental state of mind, is your building, is your dream that you need to chase, not just sleeping on. My name is Olori Adejoke Adobi David, and my friends call me Olori Ade. This is Galaxy Television. The program is Family and Values. Family and Values is a program that is all out to put us on the path we need to. We need to inculcate into everything that has to do with us personally, our family, our bringing up our children, and everything that revolves around us, our society, our environment, our responsibility that's been laid before us, and those things that we need to also face as life continues to come around with us. So join us on our social media platform. On YouTube, you can join us live as we continue on Facebook, or you can download the Galaxy mobile app. Okay, so we're on Star Times, on AVO, on all the other applications. You can always tune in to be part of Family and Values, and always leave your comments. We'd love to get the feedback from you. On that note, today is going to be another wonderful day, another wonderful beginning of a new week. It's the last week in the month of January. So glory be to God, you and I, we are still here. But I'm not here alone. I have a darling sister sitting right next to me to go through this program together this week. So fortunately, she's also in blue. I don't know why. She just decided to come in blue this morning.
Good morning.
She's all blue, shades of blue this morning.
You can say that again. Blue has a way of bringing out the brightness out of everyone. When you wake up, blue
That's why the sky is blue. I don't know why.
That touch and that brightness. Good morning to
It's so good to have you.
A very good morning to you, my esteemed viewers. Yes, it's a new week. It's a new time. Remember, you're strong when you know your weaknesses, and you're beautiful when you appreciate your faults. So remember that. Anytime you know your weaknesses, remember you're a very strong person. It promises to be another wonderful week on the show. And remember, it's a year of ever flourishing. You will keep flourishing in all you do as long as you put in hard work and the God factor. So remember to always do right and do things right. I am Princess Joy Ayo. I'll be welcome to the show. Let's have a wonderful one this morning on a very bright note.
Okay, so do you have any birthday shout out?
Nah.
Okay. This birthday shout out is going to everyone celebrating today, the 27th day in the month of January 2025. And to God be the glory that you're having another year. You're seeing another year. You are moving from -1 to +1. Okay, let me put it that way. So glory be to God. The big shout goes to Logde Agoro. Happy 50th birthday to you. As you had another year, God bless your new age. God transform everything around you and make you to continue to enjoy what it means to be on the fifth floor of life. Also, a fifth floor of life goes to Olabisi Shokoya, Mrs. Shorumu. Happy birthday to you as you had another. You're also walking to the golden. Oh God, this golden. Happy birthday to you. Also to a darling woman of God, talking about Prophet Olabisi Adamu. As she had another year today, she is the woman behind Ignite Intercessory Prayer Ministry. Happy birthday to you. We pray you will make it another wonderful year to you. Oil will never cease upon your life, and to always come up afresh every morning. Happy birthday to all of you celebrating. Happy anniversary. Happy, very beautiful celebrations that you remember. When you remember 27th of January, God will always give you reason to celebrate. We love you from Family and Values, and we wish you all the very best. Right now, it's time for us to go straight for our mini feature, as our guest is right here, waiting to dish out everything in her on our topic. Let's go for our mini feature. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Creating and building my brand. Brand building is a crucial part of launching a new business. You may have an exceptional idea or a groundbreaking product, but if you don't back it up with a strong brand, it's likely to remain unnoticed. And helps you communicate your story, highlight your USP, and connect with your audience on the level. This guide will walk you through the process of building your brand from the ground up. Learn how to design a memorable logo, create the perfect slogan, and define a unique brand personality that sets you apart from competitors. What is a brand? A brand is the unique identity of a company, shapes how it is perceived by consumers. It encompasses virtual elements, logo and website design, as well as your tone of voice, mission, values, and more. Brand has a set of rules called brand guidelines that dictate how you should market and present your image. What are the foundational elements of a brand? Building a brand goes beyond just having a logo or color scheme. Before you can start working on website design or developing marketing materials, you need to lay a solid foundation. Here are some essential elements that should be part of your new brand guidelines documents. Mission and values. Your brand's mission is a statement that clearly defines its objectives, purpose, and direction. Your brand values are the fundamental belief that your business stands for in this industry. Both are crucial when building your brand because they guide your decision and actions. Everything your brand does should line up with your mission and values. Other steps are targeted audience, brand identity, styled brand.
Back, it's still family and values, and I'm sure we're going to have a wonderful time together this morning. As we'll be discussing creating and or building my brand. Olori brand. I don't know what's your brand, so talk about your own. So me, I want to talk about my building my brand. So you out there, what brand do you want to build? Okay. What are those things going through your mind? It's still January, and I believe January is enough time for you to prepare yourself and face it from February. Yes, maybe you didn't put enough together to work it out. Now you're in January. You still have the privilege and the opportunity of gathering everything and working through it to push it out to the market. But you need one or two other strategies, and you're like, I'm just locked down here right now. Something is missing, and this is the time for you to watch that thing that is missing. So this morning we have a pretty wonderful looking brain, beautiful, bold, wonderful, sister with us in the house. So it's all three women sitting right here this morning. It's so good to have our darling sis Modukpe. Let me put Ola. Like I had Modukpe Ola Aremo to be.
To be in the studio with you.
It's an honor for us to have you, because this morning she has gone to the office to do, as a brand strategist, what else do you expect? On a Monday morning, she's been to the office and decided to just come and, do this and add more colors to that brand you want to build. So honored to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
She's the wife of our brother,
I'm telling you, still owing me my wages. So I'm telling when you get back, I'll remind you.
The wife of our brother, Olamilekun. I always like calling his name, Olamilekun Aremotobi. And to the glory of God, she got another win to her feather. Late last year, she got an award, all in this brand, all the efficacy of trying to build, products and everything that has to do with it. It's so good to have you this morning. So we want to talk about building our brand, creating our own brand. What do we need to do? What is personal branding? Like me now, I am Olori Alajoke. I am Olori AJ. And everything I want, is it right for me to put Olori? you know, some will want to put it because they want people to identify it with them. Is it right? Let me just put that to you first.
Yes, definitely. It is, because when you think about you, one of the first thing that comes to mind. So definitely, it's right to put that in.
What step do I need to take to build a Okay, welcome back. Sorry for that breaking transmission. Like I was asking, I said, is it right for me to put my name on every of my brand for easy identification?
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay.
It's what people think about when they think about you, so they remember you with that part of your name.
Okay, so
Yes.
my question for the day: what is personal branding, and what does it take for one to build, you know, a brand from the scratch? What are those things? What are those nugget steps that we need to put together?
Okay. You know, personal branding is actually something very simple, and it comes easy to a lot of people that have been able to just define who they are from the very scratch, while some people have to like take certain steps to get to it. It's more like defining and promoting your identity. So you have something about yourself that you want to project. You want people to see you and remember you for these particular things. That's simply what personal branding is. So when they're thinking about you, they're thinking about this, how this person is, this is what this person stands for. This they can describe you without you even saying a lot of things. So for instance, you meet some people and their voice just gives them away. Like that's like a personality for them. Like, a lot of people say, I think you should go and start a radio show or something because of your voice. Or it could be height. Maybe somebody, the moment they get into a room, you know that this is the person that's coming. So personal brand is as simple as that. It's now that quality in yourself to begin to promote certain things about yourself. So if someone that has an amazing voice, say a musician, now decide, oh, you know what, I want to sing. I want to start singing. And so these are the kind of songs I want to sing. That's the beginning of personal branding. So it's pretty much defining your identity and being able to promote that identity that you have defined for yourself.
Okay, so how do I build this identity from the scratch? What are those steps I need to take?
Okay, I think the first thing a person needs to do is identify what is unique to you. What stands you out from another person? So what makes me different? If we are all seated in a place, what makes me as a person different from maybe like the other 10 people in that room? Once you are able to identify it, then you need to start building on those things. So like let's use music again. So you've identified that I have an amazing voice as a person, but maybe I don't know so much about music, but I know that I sing. When I sing, people are like, oh, I love your voice, your voice is so good. So I begin to take steps in learning how to sing, learning music and all of those things, and then you are focused. So it's not like, oh, today you're doing music, tomorrow you're doing drama, or you have to focus. That's part of building a brand. You need to focus on a particular thing and just keep going for it. Keep going for it, being consistent in that thing that you have been identified for, and then you begin to once you build this to a point, you begin to talk about it enough for people to promote it for you. So I mean, people talk about you and then, oh, hello, I'm a musician. It just makes it very easy for people to begin to connect you to that particular identity that you have built for yourself. So you need to be focused, you need to be consistent, and I think another thing that comes to my mind now is tell a story. So don't just you need to find a way to tell your story that is different from every other person. Okay, so find a way to tell a story.
Telling stories, being focused, and how do you identify your unique strengths? Because a lot of us will look at it and have similar strengths. I discovered that sometimes when you put 3, 4, 5 women together, you discover that there are similarities when it comes to the strengths, the likes and dislikes. Last week we talked about the alpha woman. When you look at that build of women, you discover that there's one thing that pushes them. In the midst of that set of individuals, that set of people, how do I identify my unique strengths to build my brand without waiting to pick from A, B, C? You understand what I'm saying? Let's have you have 3 very powerful women here, and all of us are powerful. We're looking at the same direction. How do I now stand out in my own unique way to identify my unique strengths?
So sincerely, all of us have similarities. Like, we're all human beings, so there are things that makes us like behave the same way, act the same way, but there is always a touch of your own self in everything you do. As much as we are all the same, there's a difference in how you would position something than how I will position that something, but some of us don't pay attention to that difference, and that's where the branding thing comes in. Some people pay attention to there's a way I do certain things and this is my strength, and so they can build on it. What some of us just feel like, oh, I just do it. But it's when you are, maybe when you do something and then you're out of that room and then somebody will say that, oh, it's Modupe that did this thing, then they already see that there's a difference between you and the other people in the room. So you need to identify that thing that stands you out. It's different for everybody. There are some people that it could be that they just cannot get late to a place, and that might be what stands them out. Like, they are early birds. They get to that place. Once you say that something is starting by 8, know that by 5 minutes to 8 they're already in the room, or even earlier. That might be the way they stand out, and it might not be conscious. It might just be that that's just how the person has built themselves over time. Okay, so that distinguishing factor is what you need to identify that stands you out from every other person. Once you are able to know that, then you can run with it. There's some people that, for instance, let's say cooking, when they cook, there's just a level of ease and that they cook with, while another person will cook and the end result is the food. The food might taste really nice together, but the process is different, and the process is what distinguishes you and the other person.
Yes. So before we go for a break, how do you differentiate what to do in a competitive market to set yourself, like someone who is very distinct, like you're talking about delivery in the kitchen, you understand, if this person should cater for your event for guests, there are some top-ups. So what are those little things that we can add up? How do we put them together in a competitive market?
So part of personal branding is also adding elements to your brand. So beyond the fact that you have identified what stands you out, you have begun to promote it, but you also need to be able to put some level of elements to it. So for instance, the person that comes to my mind now, I think Adebola Lagos, you always see him in white and red cap. That's for an organization, it would be a logo. When you create a logo that stands out, for like Galaxy TV, once you see Galaxy TV, you know that this is Galaxy TV. So individuals as well, you can have elements in yourself that stand you out. There are some people that they always wear a white shirt, no matter what the occasion is, no matter what the ceremony is. Those are little elements that they put in themselves. There are people that there's a particular type of shoe they would always wear, or there's a particular way they do their hair, the way it looks. So you don't even need to look so far to be able to identify them, because it's a person. You might not be able. I mean, of course, you can create logos by yourself, by signatures and all that, but even in your look, there has to be.
The popular gospel artist, Mercy Chinwo. Anytime you see her, she has her beret on.
Exactly. Those are elements that stand you out. So when you begin to create that personal brand, you also need to begin to create personal elements in yourself that you can put in place that stand you out. There are different things. Some people do colored hair. So people, by the time you begin to relate with person, you realize that there's something about it that is always consistent that you cannot do without. those are your personal elements. Let me put it that way. I don't want to use logo because logos are more like organizational products and all that. But still, you can do that in your personal branding. You can have logos. You can have a statement. For instance, I personally have a statement that I feel like it applies to every aspect of my life. Okay, so it can be a slogan that people know you for, that you always say. You know, that's every time you're in a place, they know that when you get to a place, you will say this thing. You always get. So that elements, those are slogans. They're just like an organization. Say like now, just do it. Those are elements that just comes with you as a person, so that every time you are in a place, you always say something, and people know that is this person that says it. So those are your personal elements that you put in place. Of course, values are also important. Values are also important in the sense that if you're a person of integrity, people know that once she says yes, a yes is a yes, or a no is a no. They won't question that this person might change or might not change. Those are elements that helps our personal brands stand out in the
okay
crowd.
It's time for us to go for our short break as we take our word on Marble, because youths, come closer. I tell you, sometimes you need to just create your own brand and you are good to go. And for many of you who have brands, I have some quality things I've been jotting down for you, so please call them, let them come closer. Let's go for our short break as we take our word on Marble, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. So I'm confirming what our guest, Modupe Ola Arotobe said. Say your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. That is it. So start creating your brand. Like somebody just discovered their brand. Talking about branding, creating and building your brand. And I have so much on ground already. Identify them, be consistent, focus, tell your story, stand out, promote your brand. Little elements help to build your brand, and it's very important for you to add value to whatever brand you're building. Don't do forward night branding. Don't collect people's money. What I order from what I get. Watch out. Oluwajoy, it's time for you.
You see this branding of the whole thing. Now, in a very competitive environment, when you're in that industry that is like every time you come out with your own small this thing, one person has hijacked it before you say that's why I love the likes of Helen Paul. She crafted a niche for herself that till tomorrow, anywhere you hear that voice, you know that this is Helen Paul's voice. Now, in a very competitive environment, how do you identify or demonstrate what you want or want to do?
Okay, so truth be told, every industry is competitive, and
there are some that the competition there
is not as strong.
Then some is like come out with something that wow everybody before you would even notice. So it's like what I had said before, is being consistent. Okay, so
For instance, let's use products. For instance, right? There are some products in certain industries that, because of the way they have consistently been in people's faces, doing the same thing over and over, they are now like the name of the industry. So when you think of products like Close Up, you go to a malam beside your house and you say you want to buy Close Up. Close Up is actually not the product, it's the name of a brand. But because that brand has constantly been in the face of people, showing that we are the best, we have the best to give you, expressing what their product stands for. Now everybody thinks that when I want to buy toothpaste, I go to the malam and I say I want to buy Close Up.
Instead of the
yes,
toothpaste,
yes, it's the
particular
consistency
brand,
and the being and so beyond products. Another thing comes to mind now. So you go to a street and you say that when maybe you want to visit somebody's house and the person tells you that, just tell any bike man I go to maybe Alhaji Musa's house. Like everybody knows that that's like a landmark in that space. There's something that has made that house different, even though all the houses might look the same, but there's something about that house that stood it out. So it's consistency of knowing what you stand for and continuing to like talk about it, that this is what I stand for, this is how I am, this is who I am, and all that. The truth is, people like Ellen Pond didn't start on one day. It was a journey in that, and they kept telling their story, kept saying this is what it is, this is what it is, until it became very popular. So it's really just keep doing the same thing. So you're not I think one of the things that people that happens when you're in a competition is that you easily run back. You feel like the space is, there's a lot of tension, but no, even is in that competition that you now stand your ground, you keep your focus strong, and then you keep telling the story. You can change your strategy, but your focus remains the same.
And then you become a critical thinker because it helps you now to develop strategies on how to stand out.
So in the process of trying to be relevant and be consistent, how do I ensure my brand remains in the market? What do I have to do? And what role should or will social media play in this?
Okay. One of the things about brands is it must serve a need. Okay, your question just helps me remember that now. You cannot build a brand if it's not serving any purpose to others. So just like organizations build products because there's a need in the market for consumers, like, okay, so we need something, and then somebody comes in and say, you know what, I have a solution to your need. Okay, so you can have, for instance, you can have an amazing voice satisfying anybody. You need to be able to know that I have this brand, but what can this brand do for others? How can it help others? How can it contribute value to other people around me? So you have identified your brand. The way you're promoting it is by meeting needs or satisfying people around you. So you're satisfying, they call you to come and do something, and then you are valuable in that space because of your brand. Okay, and of course social media is now a place, is really helping a lot of people because it is a platform where you can tell your story and people can see you grow in your journey, where you start little and then you can say that, oh, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, and you can capture your story. People can connect with your story. So it's important to be able to use platforms like that. So if you're an upcoming musician, for instance, and you haven't done so much, and all you do is do 30 seconds music videos, and you're posting out, you're posting out. Before you know it, you have a lot of audience. You have people that are interested in what you have to offer. They are interested in what you have to give. Okay, so it's a platform to use. I would always encourage anybody that wants to be a brand in this age, be on social media and tell your story on social media.
Tell your story on social
media. Now, what are those common mistakes that people do, across building brands? Now, sometimes there was a time I wanted to build a personal brand, and in the process I was like, if I do this one, will this one think this way? I started looking for validation from people, and then it made me realize that even in the midst of losing validation, I actually lost what I was trying to build. Because Mr. A will say, why are you always putting on? Why don't you switch it? And they said, no, you're comfortable in this. So it became very difficult for me to sit down and listen. I'll give you for example, like now, Mama Jenzi Olori, we all know that she loves shades. And you can see her with different colors of shades. So anyway, she's hot. You're seeing her with multiple shades. That's one thing I love about her. Like she doesn't, that was some of us. Yes, I'm going to say that. So what are those common mistakes that we do in trying to build brands?
Okay. One major. So let me use the example of Nokia. Okay, Nokia. When Nokia was the reigning phone that everybody was using, right? And then BlackBerry came into the picture, right? And then people realized that beyond calling people, I can actually chat. We can have, like, you can have communities and enjoy yourself.
And be,
yes,
private with it.
Nokia didn't make any change because they felt our product is moving and nobody is bothered. So why are we making any change? And then the world was evolving. Consumers wanted a different need, and they kept growing with other brands. And then now, if you are holding a Nokia 3310, nobody knows you. Do you know? And one of the major things that the CEO said was that they didn't actually make any mistakes. Just that they didn't expand. No, they didn't do what the consumer wanted. And so they crashed. Okay, so as a person as well, you need to understand who you are satisfying. You cannot be for everybody. That's the truth. A gospel musician cannot go and sing at a show somewhere that is not a Christian environment. So you need to know that this is my niche and these are my audience. These are the people that I'm focusing on, and then I'm speaking to these people. That way you know their need. If you don't know your audience and you don't know their need, you would try to meet the needs of everybody. And in that you will lose yourself. So for instance, if there are so many things on social media that they say Coca-Cola can be used for, right? But the only thing Coca-Cola could tell you is that is refreshing and sharing happiness. Do you get? A lot of people say they use it for other things, different. They can decide that as a brand. Since people say this can be used for this, let's start promoting it. But no, it would destroy their business. It would destroy their product. Okay, so it's important that you know your niche, know exactly what you are doing, know your audience, and focus on your audience. And forget about the other people. You can't. It's just like human beings cannot. You can't satisfy everybody. That's the same thing about brands. Your brand is not for everybody. So you meet somebody that feels like, oh, what you are doing is not good enough, do it this way. You are able to know that, okay, my brand is not for you, so you cannot connect with my brand. That's why you might not understand what I'm doing. But somebody else that understands what you are doing, that finds the appeal from your brand, will appreciate it. So you cannot be for everybody.
You cannot be for everybody. So my question now is for a newly how do I put it now? A full-grown adult. When I mean full-grown, the youth, basically. Let me go to that. Who has just finished service, all done and everything, and ready to go into the society. And it's still like, I don't have capital. And I want to build a brand. What does it entail? For such a person, you have said the person needs to be consistent. It must be whatever brand you want to bring out to the market must be something that will be satisfying, and it must be serving a particular purpose, the need, the requirement that people will be yearning and looking forward to. What would you advise such a young person? Because our Mondays is basically to help everyone, but basically we want to focus on the youth. And what we've been talking about since morning, it's all about them. What would you advise such a person? Okay, I know that I can do business. What kind of business? How and what? Because if you're looking at capital, hey, I don't have this capital. What should they do? How should they start?
Okay, I think that I personally am of the opinion that the world has made life a lot easy for you to start anything you want to start. And you are the one that needs to know how to go about it. Okay. there are so many ways to start a business. Okay, but first you have identified that this is what I want to do. You have platforms where you can sell it. You have people around you that you can sell it to. One of the major things that brands do a lot is once they want to put a product in the market, or they want product to be relevant very well in the market, they offer free services, they offer free products. Okay, and I think that a lot of people don't want to do that. New upcoming brands. Okay, there's a reason why we'll go to schools and serve Indomie when we're growing up, or Milo will go to school, to the children's schools, primary schools, and they will give you Milo, because you get home and you tell your parents that I don't want any other drink, this is what I want. Drink it. So you must know that yes, I have a value to add, but my audience will not know that value until they have a touch of it. Okay, so one of the easiest way to start is offer free services, like volunteer, offer free services, and let the person call you back. Do it so excellently well that the person can call you back and say, come and do this for me again, and then you put a cost to it. Like, oh, I don't actually, it's actually not free, I just gave you a first time what's it called, but this is my charges. The person will be willing to pay. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing that I believe that a lot of young people fail to do is we just feel like we know it all, and we don't want to add more knowledge to ourselves. There are plenty of platforms where you can learn so many things. YouTube alone, you can learn how to cook and how to bake from YouTube. Personally, I've been trying to cook edikaiko for so long, and then I just went to YouTube, carry my put all the ingredients that I needed, went on Google the ingredients, went to the market, bought it. I was with my YouTube in the kitchen making it, and it came out really nice. You can learn so many things online. Just go online. Okay, you want to start selling shoes, go and learn how to go about it, learn it well, and deliver it excellently well. Okay, and of course use social media. So you have made shoes for yourself, you've made for your siblings, you've made for your parents. Don't just make for them and keep it. Let them wear it, snap it, take a picture, do a video of them working. No, just something really short and simple. Start telling the story on social media, and start putting a price to it. Somebody will contact you and say, oh, I love this, how can I get it, how can I make it, and then deliver it excellently well. I think that's the only thing that can make people come back to you. If you don't deliver something well, I can buy it once and I won't come back to you again. Okay, so that's excellent service delivery is also what is really missing in our youth. You just do things that, oh, I just want to make money, but know that I want to make money for a long time. And if I want to make money for a long time, I want that one person to come and buy something with me 100 times. Okay, so I have to constantly deliver an excellent service to that person over and over again. You don't do familiarity. You don't say that, oh, it's my mom, so I can do it anyhow. If you make a clothes for your mom and she goes to work and her colleagues see the clothes, they would say, who made it? My daughter made it. You make for them. So you must be very.
Because our time is fast spent. How do individuals handle criticism and backlash from brands? Now, if you take a swipe on celebrities, they built their brands, and sometimes there is this backlash that comes in. It hits, and at times it's like their brand is. We've had issues where a lot of them have lost endorsements because of the criticism that came with it, the backlash and everything. For instance, now the famous reality show that is going on, and there's been a whole lot on her brand, and people are trying to still stand up for her. And then yesterday, social media went haywire with what the husband posted and deleted. Now, because I'm trying to put myself in her shoes, I built this brand, and a whole lot of criticism and backlash. How do we handle it? How can we salvage our brands from criticism and backlash? Because it will definitely come, definitely.
Yes, definitely. People will, like I said earlier, your brand is not for everybody, and not